Welcome to the Thin Blue Line Outdoors Podcast.
This pig came bottling.
Just ended up puking last night. It sucked.
Whoa! Ah! We gut it, we wrap it in tinfoil, throw it over the fire.
All right, everyone, it's the Thin Blue Line Outdoors Podcast. This will be episode 54. It's been a couple weeks since I've done one, so I've been slacking on that. But we've been putting out a lot of content here lately. Definitely some off-season vlogs going on. So anyway, I am in Missouri right now hunting turkeys with Empire Hunting Blinds with Bryan and Zach. I'm going to let Bryan kind of introduce himself here a little bit, and we're just going to talk about his hunting blind company and turkey hunts and some other stuff. Go ahead, Bryan.
When I talk, do I look at you or the camera?
You can talk to me.
Okay.
Yeah, camera's fine.
All right. Okay. Well, here's the deal. I created it a year ago. I drew my mold up. I sent it to Sioux City, Iowa. I really just wanted to get a blind out there on the market that is affordable, durable, and can be shipped east to west coast. So I drew it up, sent it to Sioux City, got it back, did a bunch of prototypes, and finally just now got the ball rolling. We've got it to where it's got powder-coated window frames, 4 shooter windows. We've got them to where they're easily shipped, and the blind's $900. We offer a 6-foot tower stand. That's also $900, so you're looking at an $1,800 setup. I like it the most because they weigh 150 pounds, the blinds do. The stands aren't that heavy. I don't know the exact weight, but I pretty much load them up in the back of the truck myself and take them wherever I need to go. And super cost efficient. You know, you have 1,000 acres, you can come buy 10, or, you know, where you can buy 3 expensive ones. So they're going to last just as long. The rotomold has a 15 to 20 year life expectancy. The powder coated frames, they're not going to go anywhere. Stands are powder coated. The floor on the stand itself is a 1/2-inch sheet of plastic. It's a lot more cost efficient, and it's going to last a lot longer than plywood. The blind, how you mount it down to the stand is you just self-tap it, the blind straight to the stand itself. Mm-hmm. There's a rib around the bottom of it that you can easily fasten it to the ground or to the stand. My stand, your stand, wherever you want to go.
Sweet, man. So Bryan and I met at the Illinois Deer Classic, so that was actually my first booth as a blind. But before I keep going, Zach, introduce yourself real quick. Can't skip you now.
Yeah. I'm Zach. I'm Bryan's cousin. I'm just, kind of here for the ride, hang out, and have fun.
Mm-hmm. We'll get to our turkey talk here soon, but us three were hitting the turkey woods. Had some action, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But anyway, Bryan and I, we met at the Illinois Deer Classic. That was the brand's first booth for me. We were happy with it. But like I said, met Bryan, met some other guys. Had some good conversations, but you were doing a lot of trade shows.
Yep, I went to Overland Park, Kansas, Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, and Peoria, Illinois, and then that was it for my booth experiences this year.
So I already talked to you about the Dells, which I know you said had a lot of foot traffic and stuff. Yeah. How was Kansas? I hadn't talked to you about that.
Kansas probably wasn't very. It wasn't that good. There wasn't very much advertisement. Mm-hmm. Great people. The staff was great, but like 1 o'clock on Saturday, it was just vendors walking around. It wasn't
really.
Yeah, it wasn't very many people there. But
so, yeah, I'd say I feel like I don't know if I'd say on the pulse about it, but like I watch a lot of the hunting stuff that's going on, and I until today when you said something about Kansas, I didn't even know Kansas had a show.
Right. Yeah. It was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. So you gotta pay that advertising. You definitely gotta advertise.
Well, and the same people, I want to say, Open Season Expo, they were the ones that did Kansas, Ohio, and Wisconsin. I didn't go to Ohio, but I think the reason why Wisconsin was so big was because it was at the resort and the Kalahari Resort, and there was just a lot of tourism going around, and there weren't very many buyers, but there was a lot of foot traffic.
Gotcha. Which I've been at that hotel before as a tourist.
It's a great hotel.
Yeah.
I want to go back just to hang out.
Yeah.
I had a lot of people say that Ohio was really good, though.
That's good. I've heard the Indiana show is good too. I don't know who runs that, but I have some coworkers that went to it the year before. They said it was kind of packed, but a lot of people though. Like just the venue itself is smaller, so I had a lot of people on top of each other. But yeah, I know all in all, I was happy with the Thin Blue Line Outdoors at the Illinois Deer Classic, and obviously now I'm here with Bryan talking turkeys. The weather has not been on our side.
No, it's been terrible.
Yeah, so it's been cold, and we're hunting turkeys in the snow, which unfortunately I can say I think this is my third or fourth time doing that. Have you ever hunted turkeys in the
That's
snow?
my first time hunting in the snow.
Yeah.
Turkeys.
Yeah, it's not that fun.
No, it's not.
A lot of times. It's not it's not what you expect, the classic turkey hunt. But anyway, Bryan, if you want to kind of talk us through what happened this morning, and I know you've been turkey hunting this area for a while. I just spit off where you think we need to go with this.
Okay, so Zach and we roosted some birds last night while you were driving down, and the wind was blowing. They weren't really out in the fields in big groups. They were just hanging out inside the ditches and stuff. Didn't get to see where they roosted. Ripped a hoot owl a couple times. Never heard them. So this morning was pretty well just a, blind guess of where we were going to sit. Horrible guess. We didn't hear a single turkey within 100 yards. So we made a quick conversation into a plan, and we army crawled about 40 yards. Well, we got up and walked 40 yards west, and we snuck up on a hen that was about 10 yards away from us, looked at us, looked the other way.
Easy.
Probably could have went up and kicked her, but we didn't. She just clucked off, and then we kept walking, and we sat down. We had... who was that? Oh, I think it was you. You climbed a tree. Did you end up climbing?
I watched it.
I know.
We're sitting there, and Cody's like, I tell you what, here in about 20 minutes, I'm going to climb up this tree. And I said, piss on that. Now or never. Get up that tree right now.
Yep. I got up it, but yeah, there was... At one time, the branch broke. I caught myself. I remember I looked at Zach. Zach just gritted.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, like I'm about to die. Yeah.
So after we kind of spooked that spot, we decided we were going to go ahead and go more up on this ridge line. And we're walking up there, and I could have swore I heard drumming of a big old fan. So we sat down for a little bit. I ripped a mouth call, scratched some leaves, and... he responded one time. So me and Cody, we snuck around. We left Zach back in the dust because he's not very agile.
I was watching the camera.
Yeah. So he sat back and just kind of watched us.
Well, that's after that turkey popped up too. The first time.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
The first time we're standing there, we're sitting down, and we're kind of debating on which way to go, and big old red head just popped up.
What do you think? 30 yards? 40? 30 or 40, somewhere in there. Definitely could have. If it wasn't brushy,
I could have threw a rock and killed him for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if there was no brush, we would have been shooting him 100%.
Yep. It was close. It was really close. And I was really surprised he didn't tuck tail and run because we were just sitting there in plain day.
Yep.
So we left Zach back at the camp with the hen decoy and a couple cameras, and me and you, we snuck around and came up on the world's biggest hen.
Yep.
I thought it was a cow. It wasn't. It should have had a beard, but it didn't.
Yeah,
and that was unfortunate.
Yeah, because we could have shot 3 hens a day.
I bet she weighed every bit of 30 pounds.
She definitely,
She was a big
20
hen.
plus. Definitely 20 plus.
She was a big hen.
Yeah, I thought for sure. I thought maybe just like gonna have like a little bitty beard, or something like that, but be a gobbler. But no, she got close enough. She definitely did not have a beard.
Correct. We clucked and crawled through the timber, probably like 40 yards. Set up on a little hill embankment. 4 toms and 2 hens. And none of the toms were strutting. They could care less. The two hens were just hanging out. It was just really windy and snowy. That's when it started snowing. and I looked for you for confirmation if it was actually snowing. And yeah, the 4 toms, they just kind of walked off, and the 2 hens, they stayed around and hung out with us for about probably 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then once they walked away smoothly, we got up, went back to Zach, and he was asleep. And
Which, obviously, we were in a hurry, which is too bad we were in a hurry, because if we had you slide down that hill another 30 yards, 40 yards, we would have went right to you.
Yep.
But we didn't know that was going to happen. But it just right there. The closest I had at one time, the tom was 60 or 70 yards, and the opening, I can't. I don't have the gun to shoot that far, so they make them. You got enough money, they make them.
yeah, they do. They'll reach out there.
But no, it was a good hunt this morning, despite the weather. So I know it seemed like you were a little worried about what kind of turkey action we were going to have.
I was extremely worried
Yep.
because I had a few buddies come up beginning of this week, and we hunted hard for 3 days, and we kind of pushed birds everywhere and didn't really have enough time to settle back down. So I called a neighbor, and he gave us some land to hunt, and I scouted them Thursday morning, and then Thursday night, and then Friday morning we had a big storm roll through, so we didn't get out and mess with it. And then, like I said, Friday night the wind was just blowing so bad they were over it.
Yep.
But hopefully tonight we can kind of get a better judgment of where they're going to be at, and if not, if we don't find the roost, we pretty well know where they're going.
Yeah.
After the roost, so I look to see a.
I think we'll have a good chance tomorrow. And probabilities, over 50%. Over 50%.
Definitely gonna have a fresh set of legs on my shoulders in the morning, for sure.
So I'm excited for it. So after that hunt, we kind of drove around, checked some pieces, and we saw some birds, just nothing we could get on. Except that I'm pretty sure the same hen. We're pretty sure it was the same hen that we were able to drive up right to. But but other than that, so no, I'm. We'll see how tomorrow goes, but I'm already happy with this hunt, especially with the weather. It was a good time. Obviously, I met you, but Zach, you seem like a cool dude. I will say this: I am the older than both of them, and yet they tower over me. I feel like the little kid out there standing in between you guys. So, speaking of that, I don't think you and I talked about it because we're hunting. That bird this morning landed right on you. Sitting there.
I'm sitting there, and it landed right on my knee. And I looked at it. I was like, "What the heck is that?" I'm over there like.
I missed that part, I guess.
Yeah. Slumped,
we didn't say anything. I just looked at it like, "Holy shit!" And we just looking at it.
Yeah, I was definitely asleep when that first gobble hit. I just
because then like a little bit after the turkey gobble,
I felt Zach start shaking a little bit, and then you were excited, so I was like, I think they gobbled.
I'm pretty sure you pointed. I pointed. I think you pointed.
It was more of those like.
No, you pointed over here, Bryan.
Yeah, no, we all three
pointed at the complete opposite.
We all three pointed different directions there for the first 10 gobbles. It was terrible.
Yeah, seemed about right. But it was a good turkey. I had fun, and I definitely think odds are in our favor for tomorrow, except for the weather. Supposed to be colder, so we'll see how that goes. But whatever, I've killed them in the cold before, so we'll see what happens.
Yep.
But so one thing again, we'll get to the blinds now a little bit more. Obviously, Bryan kind of talked about the blinds already. I know one thing that stuck out to me at the show. So I guess back up a little bit. Bryan reached out to me. I don't know, January probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
It was deer season.
Yeah, was it? So I have 2 team members. If you guys aren't new to the podcast, they've been on it. It's been Ryan and Jesse, the red coat and the redneck they call themselves. So which will bring up a funny story about Ryan here a little bit with Bryan, but they hunt Mercer County, Illinois. They go there a lot. Mercer County is obviously not too far away from the Missouri and Illinois border. Bryan reached out to me. We started going back and forth on TikTok a little bit. What was funny was that the deer show. I talked to Bryan. I think it was Friday or Saturday. I think Friday though. And I told him on Sunday, like, hey, I'll talk to you later on Sunday. But I'm gonna send my team member over just to talk to you, and he wants to take a look at the blind. He's probably gonna be the only British guy you meet at the show. Brian, how'd that go?
Well, it was a great experience. He's probably going to be watching this, so I'm going to keep.
He's going to be laughing. He's going to be laughing.
I'm going to keep the truth to a bare minimum. Great person. Who was the skinnier guy that was with him?
Jesse.
Jesse.
Mm-hmm. Jesse.
Yep. So you told me that you're going to have your British buddy come say hi to me. You said that you'll know him when you hear him.
Yep.
Dude. His accent, holy crap, that was thick.
Oh yeah.
He could have sold me anything. I was sitting there like, yeah, okay, yeah, sounds good.
Yep.
And we shot a good little quick video, and he's a great person to be around. I love his energy.
Oh yeah, he wanted to be here today, and he was got my backup plan, but he couldn't get the weekend off.
Yeah.
So you would have liked him.
No, he's a great guy. He's hilarious.
Wouldn't have understood him, but you would have liked him. He's a goofball. But yeah, no, that was just kind of funny there. But no, one thing that stuck out to your blind is just the portability, and I mean price point. I mean that's a big plus. If you want to talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so it's made out of recycled plastic goods, so it's a lot cheaper than everything else on the market. I do my labor myself, so I keep it pretty cheap. Just trying to think of the price points. Should I talk about like how much a door costs? How much?
I was going to say if you talk about what you're charging for the blind.
Okay, so price point wise, the blinds themselves are $900. They're so cheap because of the recycled rotomold plastic that goes into them. Cheap labor. They weigh about 150 pounds when it's all said and done. Yeah, that 2-inch rib design on the bottom. We've done that design on hay feeders and other things, and horses are always around them. Like that blind I have. That blind stand that's sitting up there right when you turn on the highway to my house? It's not anchored down or nothing right now.
Oh, really?
No. And
So it's just been sitting there for
yeah,
that long.
it's just been hanging out, and we've had like that tornado warning we had when we were at Peoria. We had that same thing here, and it didn't go anywhere. So my stands are heavy built. They have a wide base, and if you can put, it's not like a pop-up tent where they give you 4 little eye holes to pop a stake in. If you want 100 screws in the bottom rib, put 100 screws in it. Like, it's not going to matter. If you just want 2, put 2. But it's super durable up top. The snow's going to run off of it. I've had up to 200 pounds on it before the roof starts to cave in, but it doesn't like fall through. It just kind of bows in the top. But if we ever have more than 200 pounds on top, there's a tree on it or something worse has happened. So
Yeah.
The stands, I love my stands. They have a very unique collapsible design. Me and a buddy takes 5 minutes. The average person that's going to take and set one up is probably going to take 10 to 15, depending on how many they have to set up. But it's super easy.
So those stands collapse, huh?
Yeah, they collapse.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah, they the one side has a 4-inch drop down hinge, and through the square tubing there's a rod, and then my 2 back legs are all welded together. So this leg swings in and this one swings in.
Okay.
And you just have two cross braces. So you just lay it out and put your cross braces on and flip it over and put your blind up top.
It's really easy for transporting and and shipping.
Super easy.
So
Yep.
Sweet. I did not realize that. So one thing, and this is a discussion my team members and I had about your blind and other blinds, because there was some nice blinds at the Illinois Deer Show. But there were number one, they were all more expensive.
Yeah.
But they were either made out of wood, which, as we all know, wood rots eventually.
Heavy, rots, not cost efficient at all.
Yep.
In today's market, terrible.
Correct.
You can't even go buy a simple 2x4.
No.
It's expensive.
Yeah. And I've hunted box blinds most of my life, really. Most of my deer hunting life. But they're all homemade box blinds. And never once did we have a pre-made deer blind before. So my dad bought, I don't even remember the brand, but he bought one this year, a different brand. It's okay, nothing crazy. He hasn't killed anything out of it yet, but I know like another blind we were looking there with those cloth-sided blinds, which are fine.
It's probably Radix. Did they have the big fancy logo on the back?
Yes,
it was Radix.
Which one thing we talked about discussion with this, you got to take that cloth down every year.
Yeah, they made their cloth to be a lot more fancier, and their stand is a hell of a setup for the cost. But then again, the blind, you're going to have to go take it down, or it's going to get sun faded. It's going to last longer than your average, tent on a stand would.
100%,
but it's one of them deals where if you want it to last 15, 20 years, you're going to have to take care. You're going to have to take care of it.
Exactly. So one thing that sticks out if you're a blind is, so I own part of the family farm. My dad owns the other 100. We like to set our stands up and leave them.
Yeah.
Forget about them and leave them.
For sure.
Where I can buy a set of your guys', set it there, and I don't have to worry about replacing them until 20 years,
Yep.
So unless a tree or something weird happens.
Yep.
So that's one thing that stuck out with me is, that, and if I do decide to move it, as you said, it's only 150 pounds.
Yep.
These wooden box blinds that we have built on the property right now,
They're not moving them.
No. We build them, they stay there.
Yep.
And there's been times where we're like, man, I really wish I could move that 20, 30 yards because we found out this is a better shoot angle. Can't.
Yep.
So really excited about that. For everybody who might be watching this or listening to this, I am buying a blind from Bryan after my bear hunt later on. So I'm going to be purchasing one. So hopefully this fall you see me kill a deer out of it.
Yep.
Already got the spot picked out and everything. So be good to go. So I guess, is there anything else you want to add with your blinds on why maybe they should pick your blind over any others or anything like that? Other than yours is better.
Yeah, it's just better. So what makes mine stand out better than the rest? I already fucked that. I'm gonna reword that.
You're good. No, arrogance is key. I like it.
So what makes mine stand out more to the competition is more the fact that you've got Muddy, Redneck, and then after Muddy and Redneck, it's just everybody and their dog coming up with their own hunting blind, and everybody wants their they want to sell the big fancy ones, the Taj Mahals, and what I realized is it's easier to compete in my industry with the pop-up blind side of things. So what I'm doing is I'm replacing your soft tops. Okay, I'm not trying to compete with your half-inch thick walls and your insulated doors and your cup holders and your built-in Wi-Fi and all that crap. Okay, mine is simple. It's going to get the job done. So if you have a pop-up blind, you can buy 3 or 4 pop-up blinds in 15 years when you could have just bought one of mine and never had to touch it again. Set that sucker out and don't ever look back unless you want to move it.
Yeah, well, I got a spot. I've been hunting this one farm for almost the whole time I've been a cop, so be about 8 years now. We found a really good ground blind spot. We really like it. It's a great shotgun spot. Absolutely love it for shotgun hunting. I am on my 3rd or 4th pop-up tent there. And I've definitely spent over $900 for that over the last 8 years, where if I had just put one of your blinds there, I'd be good.
Yeah.
So
and don't get me wrong, if you're going to go with a soft top, the people at Radix, they're great people. They've gave me advice. They've got a lot of great products, but theirs is definitely the nicest soft top. But after that, really the only person I have to compete with is, am I allowed to name drop on here?
Yeah, you can name drop whoever you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these pussy, and I'm just kidding. Cut that out. No, so the only blind that really competes with me is called the Maverick. It's a 2-piece. I want to say it's injection molded, probably.
I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't know.
So it's a Maverick. They have 6-shooter windows. They're super nice. You've got to install the plexiglass. You got to install the seals around the window frames.
So you got to do it all.
All the hinges. Like it's a hell of a task to put one up, in my opinion. But, extremely shippable. But that is another selling point for me, is mine is one piece. It will be shipped to your house, and it will never be, you just put it wherever you want and it's good to go. The only assembly you have is with the stand. Unless you're local, we can help you unload it, load it, whatever you want to do. But the only competition I think I have that is a durable hard top blind is the Maverick, and the only way I beat them is because of my powder coated window frames, and I'm a one piece unit, and that's how I think I'm better than that. But don't put Empire blinds on the same category as Muddy and Redneck, because they will curb stomp me every day of the week, because I'm not trying to compete with them. I'm trying to make a cost efficient blind and get something the average person can go and enjoy, and not have to go to their local farm and home store every season to get them and their son or daughter a pop-up blind, go set it up, gets blown away, you come out the next morning and it's gone. So just consider it, think about it, and you can always reach out to me and I'll answer as many questions as you want.
Well, that's, I've my dad and I, we've both been looking at hardtop blinds now for the last few years, and just trying to pull the trigger. And don't get me wrong, I've looked hard at those redneck blinds. I would like to have one. I don't want to spend $2,000 on one. I just refuse to spend that kind of money on, and that's their small one.
Yeah.
Let alone their big ones now I think are like 3+, maybe even more.
Absolutely. So. And mine are gonna last just as long. It's just money. Like it never stops. So that's my biggest thing, is I'm just trying to keep it cheap and affordable. Mine's gonna last just as long, if not longer. But at the end of the day, you're not gonna have a cup holder. Like, and that's just is what it is. They put cup holders on chairs.
And I'm sure once you buy the blind, if you want one that bad, you can figure out how to get one attached. If
Absolutely.
You want that one that bad.
Absolutely. If you want a shelf, have at it. I can do that for you, but it's not gonna be shippable. I'll do whatever customization you want, but you just got to realize that if I put a shelf in mine, or if I put a cup holder in mine, then I got to worry about the cup holder breaking, or you have to install it, and I don't want to have to make anybody install anything. Yeah,
that's not the point. What you're trying to achieve here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which I could really see, like, if you were a newer outfitter, and so you had already had the land bought, whatever, like, man, you could buy a whole bunch of your blinds.
Yep.
Cheap, and ship them cheap.
Yep.
And really, like, set up your property good with all these blinds. And it really is. And Bryan and I talked about it's a perfect stand for gun hunting or crossbow hunting. It really
absolutely.
is. I can pull my bow back in it for sure. I could see maybe if you're over 6 foot, maybe you'd have an issue. But if you're crossbow gun hunting, there is no issue. Honestly, it's perfect for that.
And there is definitely a reason. I have a lot of people at the shows say, you need to set that up to where you can, everybody can bow hunt out of it. Yeah, I agree. I would love to do that, but I'm not stopping here with the 5.5 by 5.5 hunting blind.
You're 1 year in, right?
I'm 1 year in. That's it. So
yeah.
I don't want to have to draw up another mold. Like, I'm going to run with this mold, and I want to get to where I'm selling hunting blinds, a set number of hunting blinds every year, a set number of ice shacks, a set number of feeders, hay feeders, deer feeders. I'm going to get it all figured out. So that's my main reasoning of why I'm stuck on the size of everything, because it's perfect to put a square bell in. It's perfect to put a couple bags of feed in, like, all is well with the size.
Do you want to talk about your family's company?
Yeah, sure. So my grandpa started up Coon Manufacturing in 1960. We're located in Spickard, Missouri. We are a rotomold company. So I know quite a bit about the rotomold side of things. And what rotomold is it's plastic grinded up into powder form. The powder form goes into a mold. The mold gets cooked in a propane oven. While it's rotating, it comes out. The powder has then formed to the outside of the mold, and it is a shell. So that's why it's important to keep everything as a one-piece unit, because plastic grows like 3/8 of an inch, shrinking and expanding. We make septic tanks. We make dock floats. We're super busy on dock floats. Everybody's excited to get on the lake. I don't blame them. Hopefully someday I'm able to own a lake house. It'd be pretty cool. But septic tanks are busy. Dock floats are busy because everybody's starting to build, and we're getting busy. In the wintertime, we pick up on hay bonnets. They're a hay feeder for horses and cows. They get shipped just like my hunting blind. They get the same support. They're like 8.5 by 8.5, and they're like 5.5. They're a bale height tall. So
I saw them out there.
What are they, like 6 foot tall in the center?
You think so? Probably.
I bet they're 6 foot tall in the center. I'm not sure. I can get the exact measurements, but we have dealers all across the U.S., East Coast to West Coast, North to South, like everywhere. So if you're interested in a hay feeder, septic tank, dock floats, Prefer, they're a big cattle company, shoot company. We make some of their I believe they're called wind vanes. We make a lot of cattle supplies. We've got a 10-foot feed bunk, a 4-foot feed bunk. All of our feed bunks all of our products will stand by. They're super durable. We've got pictures of horses standing in our feed bunks. You know, they take a lot of wear and tear out there, so you don't have to have a metal frame. You know, take a chance on your horse getting cut or anything. Our septic tanks are certified or licensed, I guess is what you call them.
Okay.
In all the states, so we're good there. And I think, and then we just make a bunch of odd and end things.
So you said recycled plastic, right?
Recycled plastic,
and then everything's here. Everything is here in Missouri, not nothing. Overseas or anything. You guys are all doing it,
right? So as far back as I know, we buy our regrind plastic. It looks like Fruity Pebbles when it comes in. We buy it out of a company called St. Joe Plastics. They're out of St. Joe, Missouri. But as far as where they get their material, I'm not sure. But
I was going to say the main thing, all the labor and stuff, like American made here. And, how many, if you don't mind me asking, how many employees you guys got? Which I know it's a family company.
So my mom and dad, myself, my brother-in-law, and then plus probably 8 more of us in there every day.
Gotcha. I do have to ask, I'm curious. Maybe it's too personal, but was your brother-in-law, like he became brother-in-law then he got hired? Or was he a worker who became brother-in-law?
Okay, so there's this thing called Make-A-Wish Foundation. Great person. He was definitely, I don't know. It's a weird deal. He met my sister kind of how we met. So it's just a love story waiting to happen. They met on TikTok. He packed up and left Arizona and came back here, and he's been a great helping hand on the farm. He was working at the factory and stuff. Helps us with cows all the time. Helps me pick on Zach.
It was good to meet him at the deer show.
He's but what was your question?
I just didn't know how they met. I didn't know. So I didn't know if he became.
He was brother-in-law, then got hired.
Okay, gotcha.
Hell no, we wouldn't let.
That's what I was wondering. That's what I want to know. Like, how does a worker start dating boss's daughter? Like, it looks like
ain't nobody can pull that off.
That's why I was wondering. Like, ooh, that was ballsy right there. That was the case.
Yeah, no, that didn't happen.
Gotcha. Zach, do you have anything to add to all of that? Okay.
Oh my.
So talking back to social media, that's how Bryan and I started communicating. One thing you always put on your social media is living like Landon, right?
Yeah, live like Landon.
Live like Landon. Okay.
So
go ahead.
That's I kind of just want to keep going in the outdoors, whether the hunting blinds fall on their face or if they work. I'm always going to continue to spread my love in the outdoors. I grew up high school rodeoing for Missouri. I met this super nice, kind-hearted kid, and I looked up to him as a role model. And I told him I never shot a turkey one time. And then ever since then, it was like, we're going to get you a turkey. We're going to get you a turkey. And then the spring of 2017 rolled around. We got my first turkey. And I tell you what, the way it went down, you could never do it again. And the fact that, you know, it was one of them deals where we crossed a ditch, we climbed a fence, and we got behind the decoy and we reaped him from like 150 yards out, shot him at like 8 yards.
Heck yeah.
Like it was insane.
Mm-hmm.
And then where Live Like Landon comes in is the January of 2018. His brother and him got into a car wreck and he passed away. And then the big hashtag to spread his awareness, I guess you wouldn't call it awareness, cut that out, to spread his love and kindness throughout the world was Live Like Landon. So I'm gonna keep pushing on. And something I left out earlier is he was big into bird hunting, like turkeys, geese, ducks, you name it, he was there. Like so I'm definitely gonna get me a duck blind figured out, maybe a dock float.
Ooh.
I
got a couple ponds.
I'm definitely gonna get a duck blind, and it's gonna be his. Like, it's in remembrance of him. Like, everything I'm doing in the outdoors, like, I just get to sit back and I love it. But I'm definitely gonna get a duck blind or something figured out in his name, and
Man,
we're gonna keep going.
there's some cool things you could do with the duck blind.
Absolutely.
Like-
with my connections I have, you know,
Yeah.
slap a lift tank on top, or, you know, stack a couple dock floats. It'll be sweet.
So I'm just thinking. So, have you done any duck hunting?
No,
Okay.
I want to get into it bad. That was something we were
Yeah.
gonna try and get after. But
Yeah. Well, I know a guy.
Do you?
Yeah. So like, I don't want to name drop places here because I don't want them to get too much attention. But my family and I, we public land some duck hunts by some spots by me. And you have to draw a blind. If you draw a blind, you then have to build the blind. So lumber, it's always lumber, and then put it out there. At a certain date and time. First thing, you got to get your blind approved. It has to hit all these things. Once it gets approved, you have to place it out there. And at a certain time of the year after duck season, you have to remove it. And then it just sits there wherever, like, sits in your yard. So, like, right now I have a duck blind sitting in between my dad's property and I. It's just sitting there hoping we draw this blind again. If you had a portable blind, like floats, whatever, you could easily take in and out. A lot of people would buy them.
yeah,
Because 3 or 4 guys go in and buy the lumber together, and I know they spend weeks building it together. And what the floats are always are the 50-gallon drum barrels.
Yeah.
Is what we use for floats all the time.
I'm not 100% sure on how I'm gonna turn a deer blind into a duck blind, but I'm definitely gonna get a duck blind figured out, and I'm gonna get it all to where it's one product quickly. You know, if it's whether it's putting wheels and tires on it and using it as a run and gun in the spring for turkeys, or
Yeah.
in the fall.
That'd be cool.
I'm
Either
gonna-
one.
yeah.
Either way, I just see, especially with your connections, I really think you could go a lot of ways with this.
I'm gonna build one badass duck blind for sure someday. As soon as I get this mold paid off, probably like 30 years.
Yeah. I'm sure that was pricey.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was a
good order.
yeah. It was a. There were tears involved.
I could see that. But yeah, no, I'm impressed. I'm for sure going to be buying one when I come back from a bear hunt, and then possibly after talking to some buddies, we might buy more than one. We just have to wait and see. Yeah, I guess, is there anything else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to talk about. Top of your head, is there anything else either one of you want to say about the business, blind, anything like that? I think
he's still upset he missed that turkey with the 243 today.
Yeah, buddy, that's one.
We're gonna get that sucker sighted and he's gonna drop him in tomorrow.
yeah. But yeah, we're gonna hunt one more day tomorrow. I think we have a good chance. Tonight, I'm gonna cook some Texas wild pork for him.
Excited for that.
So hopefully you guys like it. So far, everybody's liked it. So hopefully everybody likes it. It's been good hanging out with you so far, and look forward to tomorrow and hanging out tonight and all that good stuff. And look forward to killing a deer out of your blind this year. So it's the plan anyway. So it seems like a good plan.
I agree.
Yep. Other than that, guys, we're going to go ahead and end this podcast. Again, like, subscribe, follow. I know last time I got on this podcast, we did not have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We are now well past that. We're knocking on 1,200's door. And everything else is still growing, so we appreciate it. We do have some merch in stock right now. Some of the t-shirts, just white. It's black t-shirt with a white Thin Blue Line Outdoors. Check it out. And then I sold out of hats at the show.
I think I actually have that shirt on if you want me to show them.
So if you got it on, go ahead. Flash it. Here's my model.
Also, this is Hooked and Tagged. Great family, great company. Go check them out.
Talked to them at the show too. They were cool.
They are a great family.
Mm-hmm.
They took us out to dinner and shared.
In the Dangerous Peoria or somewhere else? In the Dangerous Peoria or somewhere else?
Yeah.
There you go. So just black shirt, graphic lettering, whatever, white lettering. Pretty basic, but we're going to be bringing back the Illinois one. And we've got a new one too with a broadhead that'll be coming in the future. So check that out, guys. Go just to the Thin Blue Line outdoors.com. Or you can find us on Facebook or anything like that. So appreciate it, guys. Thanks you guys for being on again, and see you guys. Be safe out there.